So this happened to me. I was driving by my middle school, and this was a memory from 6th grade, where my 6th grade teacher, she was our Spanish teacher, and she would like make the white kids change their first names to Hispanic names. What was that? Doesn't help you learn. It's like, okay, so I'm a Jose now? I don't understand. I'm going through puberty. I have enough of an identity crisis as it is. But my best friend Jeff, he didn't play ball. On his name tag, he wrote Mr. Goodbar. Like the candy bar. And here's the memory. My teacher sees it, and she lost her mind. And she goes, "You can't call yourself Mr. Goodbar!" And he goes, "Why not?" And she goes, "Because Mr. Goodbar is a porn star!" And I'm like, there's no way I'm remembering that correctly. So I looked it up. And it turns out Mr. Goodbar was a very famous porn star in the 80s. But we didn't know that. Because we were 11 fucking years old. Senorita Pregunta. If I may, one pregunta. Como se dice too horny to teach? How do you say that? Living in Philadelphia means I have mice in my home. It comes with the deed, and on the lease, it's my wife and I and 17 mice. You're gonna roll your eyes at this, but my wife and I were animal lovers, so we don't have the traps that kill the mice. Thank you. But we have the traps that trap the mice, and then you drive them 7.5 miles away, because apparently someone drove them 7 and they came back. One of the most degrading trial and error situations, I would imagine. So you rehome them. You rehome the mice. That's what you do. And it's weird. I've been working my entire life to become a professional stand-up comedian, and now it turns out I'm just an Uber for varmints. That's what I put on my taxes. Uber for varmints. I have 20,000 dependents spread throughout the city. They say it's the humane thing to do, though, not to kill them. What they don't tell you is how fucking weird you look when you drive into a random neighborhood, get out of your car, and then just release mice into it. Be free! I did the other day while a school was getting out, and this little girl turns to her dad, and she goes, "Oh my God, Daddy, is that a wizard?" Because no, he's more of a male witch if you get to know him, actually. That's more of his vibe. I've been going down to this place called the Jersey Shore a lot since I moved back to the East Coast. If you don't know what it is, it's like the beach where people from Philly and New York go. And there's a place in particular that I've been going. It's called Ocean City, New Jersey. And yes. And I've been going on, like, that's going to have to be cut out, what I just did. We can't have it. Oh. They blur it out, you know, it's so fucking humiliating. Like, oh! My apologies to the editor of this special. I apologize. So I've been going down to Ocean City, New Jersey a lot, and they had this issue where this is a real thing. seagulls were dive bombing people on the boardwalk, and they were knocking food out of their hands and knocking hats off ladies' heads. So the local government in Ocean City, New Jersey, their solution to this, after much deliberation, was to hire a birds of prey company to release hawks into the air to go to war with the seabirds? What the fuck? That was your solution? And one of my favorite things to witness in life is this thing that I call the I fucked up at work walk, where you messed up at your job and you have to tell your boss, and you're not going to get fired, but he's going to be a real piece of shit about it. So you're kind of just trudging, you know, like you're fucking bummed out. And I saw a guy doing that on the boardwalk, and I will paint a colorful description as to what this man looked like. In his one hand, he had a little hood. How little? You might be wondering. A hood so little it would fit perfectly on a hawk's head. And on his other hand, he had a big, scary, thick leather glove going up to his shoulder. And this next part, I feel like I actually don't have to say because you're probably already picturing it in your head, but just in case I'm missing some people, long gray ponytail down his back. You saw it? We saw it. We all saw it. And this guy's trudging, and he goes up to his boss, who looked exactly like him, except his long gray ponytail was like 6 inches longer, you know, to show rank. Excuse me. And our first guy, he goes up to his boss and goes, "I messed up!" And his boss goes, "What happened?" And he goes, "I lost a bird!" And his boss goes, "How do you lose a bird?" And I go, "May I interject?" It's a bird. I would imagine, is it the wings? Did it use its wings? Its God-given wings? Oh, okay, it flew away, you fucking idiot. That's how. I'm not a business expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I would imagine part of the risk assessment when you open up a hawk company some of them are gonna fly away. They're gonna fly away. Hey, you lose a bird. Oh my God, it hit me over the head with a fish, stole my iPhone, hailed an Uber, and drove away. Immediately after our wedding, my wife and I, we went to our honeymoon. So we did it the day after. We didn't want any time to elapse. We wanted to ride it out. And we saved up some money, and we went to Portugal. And we were flying out of Newark International Airport, and we're in the line to board the plane. And then all of a sudden, so there's people from all over the world there. It was a very busy terminal. And then a voice comes over the loudspeaker, and I just hear, boop. Yeah, we are very, very sorry. This is a very dirty airplane. This fly from Newark to Lisbon, it is a very, very dirty airplane. So we have dirt in the aisles, and we have oil in the carpets. So we have had to recall the cleaning crew for a second time to clean this dirty airplane. It is not fit for the skies. So if we have recalled the cleaning crew for a second time, we apologize for the inconvenience. It will be delayed for 20 minutes. Boop. And I look at my wife, I'm like, I fly a lot for work. I've never had a plane not take off because it was too dirty. But okay, we were still riding off the high of our wedding. We were so excited, it wasn't gonna bum us out or anything. Then 20 minutes later, we hear, boop. Yeah, this is a very, very, very dirty airplane. There is gum in the armrests. So we have had to recall the cleaning crew for a third time. We apologize for inconvenience. This flight has been delayed another 20 minutes. We apologize for inconvenience. Boop. And I'm like, how dirty is this fucking plane? What happened in there? What is going on? And then for the first time, I saw my wife's spirits start to dip, which really broke my heart because it was really important for me for her to have an amazing honeymoon. So to cheer her up, I started making fake announcements in the line in that guy's voice as to why the plane was too dirty to take off.
Yeah, this is a dirty, naughty, filthy, dirty little airplane. This is a nasty bird. There are rats. This plane has been overcome by rats. They are massive rats, nutria rats. So we have had to arm the cleaning crew with rifles to take out... to shoot these rats on sight, execute the rats. So we apologize for inconvenience. We must grab the rifles, arm the cleaning crew. They have been recalled and commissioned into service for a 5th time. We apologize for inconvenience. This flight has been delayed 20 minutes. Boop. Boop. Oh, fuck me. Okay, shit. Do not shoot the messenger, and I am saying that to the cleaning crew because they are armed right now. These rats have built a fuck in the doorway to... I apologize. What is American word for sticks in big wall? Oh, sorry, a dam, not a fuck. I apologize. Okay. They've built a dam, and we have actually executed the rats, but we have also identified the rats' food source. The previous flight was filled with people with the celiac disease. And as a courtesy to the celiacs, we passed out the Nutrigrain gluten-free Nutrigrain bars. Now, you know how crummy the normal Nutrigrain bars are? Well, you use the almond flour in those suckers, and they are fuck-ass crumbs. They suck a dick with my ass, they are filled with crumbs. So, we have had to recall the cleaning crew for a 6th time. We apologize for inconvenience. This flight has been delayed another 20 minutes. Boop. Boop. Okay. Okay. So crazy development. The plane is clean. That is the good news. The bad news: we have a pedophile ghost in the bathroom. Now, you might be wondering, how does pedophile ghosts get locked in the bathroom? That is a great question. We have great answers. So, there was a flight in 2017 going from Newark International Airport to the Austin International Airport, Bergstrom. And the flight had to make an emergency air landing, excuse me, it's English as a second language. And... it made an emergency landing in the Orlando, Florida airport. And upon finding out that they were landing at Disney World, the perverts had a heart attack and died in the bathroom. So we have had to call in a shaman, a shop person. We are very progressive on these airplanes. It is a shop person. We have called them in from the Shreveport, Louisiana, and unfortunately we do have no direct flights, so this shop person will not get here until tomorrow, and by then the plane will be damned, so we must bury the plane underneath 500 feet of sand. We apologize for the inconvenience, this flight has been canceled.
I didn't know how weird it was to tell people I was from Florida till I moved. We got a reputation, y'all. It's bad. You know what I'm saying? Because we're a weird place. Like, let's be honest. Florida's like the Kanye of the 50 states. Like, let's be honest, you know? It's like when I was young, I loved it. But the older I get, the more I'm like, I don't know if I can defend everything it's doing. You feel where I'm coming from? Florida and Kanye just have so many similarities when it comes to, like, how hard they are to root for. Does that make sense? It's like, yeah, they're both creative, they both love women with big booties, but they both tried to make the Confederate flag cool. It's like, I don't know, mistakes were made. It's a tough thing to defend, that's all I'm getting at. I still get defensive for Florida. When I'm on the road, I actually do. I get defensive all the time. I just don't like it when people try to make it sound like all the crazy shit in the country only happens here. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. Let's stop acting like you haven't been in your hometown and you were walking down the street and you saw some dude that made you go, oh, Jesus Christ, avoid that fucking guy. Oh my God. Was his dick sticking out his back pocket? Jesus, you saw that, right? It's just crazy to me. And then people try to cite Florida man stories as if that's the end all be all. Get the fuck out of here. They're like, well, what about Florida man? I hate that they say it as if all the other people in Florida aren't reading it thinking the exact same shit as them. It's like, well, what about Florida man? It's like, what about that nigga? He's crazy. Well, what about Florida man? He's out of his mind. I agree with you. It's so weird that they bring that up, you know what I mean? Because what's the easiest way to explain this? It's just, with Florida man stories, they don't make sense to me because they make it sound like what do they think we're thinking as we read it? Like, we're not relating. Like, none of us are reading the Florida man story, all these crimes, and going, nice, he finally did it. Oh, shit. All right, yeah. Dude, follow your dreams, baby. Jerry always said he wanted to throw an alligator through a drive-through window. And they told him he couldn't do it, but he persevered. So ridiculous, man. And then you'll hear people say like these dumb arguments. They'll be like, well, if our states are so crazy, why don't we hear as much about us? I asked the prosecutor, I'll tell you why. Did you know that everything that goes to court in this country is public record? Anything that goes to court, you can look it up if you know how. But, and this is what I didn't know, every state uses a different site. And it just so happens, according to this prosecutor, Florida has one of the easiest sites to search public records for, even if you have no experience looking up public records. So, you could do like a keyword search. You could go, meth, eat, face. A case in Florida is gonna show up. But you could do that exact same search in another state. The case exists and it doesn't show up, unless you know how to pry deeper to make it come out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. The other states aren't less crazy, they're just better at keeping secrets. That's all it is. They're Bruce Jenner, we're Caitlyn, that's it. That's literally all we're talking about here. And I just don't like when they try to make it sound like it's only here. Have you read your news? I have. I've checked your sites and you've got some shit going down. Have you seen this guy in Colorado who he tricked out his bulldozer into a tank and he drove it through the houses and the businesses of everyone he thought wouldn't support his muffler store? You don't want to talk about Colorado, man? You see this guy in Massachusetts literally living in the walls of somebody else's house, would only come out at night to pretend to be the ghost of the dead mother of the 2 little girls that live there. We don't want to shout out like Massachusetts guy. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying if you're from another state, you're a bad person, but stop acting like it only happens in Florida. People are fucking dogs where you live too. That's a weird point to rally a crowd around, you know? Oh my God, dude. It does feel good to be back, man. Crazy people are everywhere, though. Be real. They don't hide behind the state lines. They're like, no, we're everywhere. You see the story about this cop in St. Louis? Cop in St. Louis sued his own precinct because his boss told him, on the clock, by the way, tone down your gayness. That is a direct quote. Tone down your gayness, his boss said to him with an HR department. Are you out of your fucking mind? But that was a direct quote. That's what he told him. So this cop sues the department. He wins the case, as he should, by the way. You know how much he was awarded? $19 million. You hear what I just heard? And I can tell you what I just heard. I have not been acting gay enough at my work. $19 million, you said? I will do some almost gay things for $19 million. If I was a cop, you wouldn't even have to ask. I'll put rhinestones on my handcuffs. I don't give a shit. I'll do whatever I gotta do. I'll start macing everybody with Bath and Body Works. What's the thing? What do I gotta do? Everybody I bring to the precinct smells like apricot. I don't care. I'll get your Miranda rights wrong. I'll be like, you got the right to remain steamy. It's $19 million. You're not gonna do whatever it takes. I'll chase the siren of my cop car to an Ariana Grande song. I don't give a damn. You saw me chasing you down the street, you just hear bang, bang, hands on the roof. Like, I don't give a fuck. What are we talking about? It's $19 million. I'll spit on my nightstick before I use it. I'll be like, what seems to be the problem here? I'm just saying, that's a lot of money. I'm not gay or a cop. I want to be both of those things. Crazy people are everywhere. That's the only point I'm trying to make here. I don't like how people try to make Florida sound. Like, I live in LA now. I've been there for 5 years. The number one question I get asked when I tell people I'm from Florida, they go, oh, you're from one of the messed up schools where the teachers are fucking the students? I'm like, whoa! What? Fucking the students? I mean, yeah. Twice. And they're like, that's funny to you? And I go, it depends on the situation. And they're like, when's a teacher sleeping with a student ever funny? And I'm like, 7th grade. 7th grade, it's real funny, man. I'll tell you a real story. You can look it up on our site. When I was in 7th grade, we had a female teacher who slept with a male student. That's true. Class she taught, hardest math class we offered in the program. Student she slept with, smartest kid in the class. When the rest of us students found out what she did, none of us were like, how could she do this? We were all like, fuck, we should have studied harder. Oh, you're telling me that's what was at stake the whole time? Understand the point I'm trying to make here. I'm not saying teachers should be sleeping with students. I'm saying I've never been more motivated to learn. You feel? Bruh, she's giving out fellatio for ratios. You think I'm not gonna learn this material? Bro, I was studying for that class like I was an 8 Mile. I'm like, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to, bruh. You think I know Pythagorean theorem because I care what the hypotenuse of a right triangle is? You better grow up. I was trying to lay teenage pipe. Can I say some wild shit? Hear me out for a second. Look, I'm just saying, if we were more open-minded, we might have more kids that were caring about their education. You know what I mean? But we're not willing to do what it takes. Like, hear me out. If you fail a class, of course, you get summer school. But if you ace a class, come on. Hummer school, what do you think? Like, be real with me. Fellas, you're not intrigued? Ladies, I know this doesn't work for y'all. I haven't thought of something yet. But fellas, you're not intrigued? A little bit? Like if a blowjob was waiting for you at the end of it, you wouldn't have paid a little more attention in geometry? Like, that's all I'm getting at here. You could turn the whole game, man. Now nerds are cool. I love the dynamic there. Nerds are cool now. Imagine you're walking down through the hallways. You got Poindexter glasses on, pocket protector, fucking calculator watch. All the jocks are staring at you like, damn, Sheldon be getting all the blowjobs, man. It's crazy, dog. I keep trying to learn algebra, but my dad keeps making me practice quarterback, the fucking dork. Right? This is just so cool to take in. It just says, I just want to live in it a little bit, you know? I read an article a while back. Always stuck with me. This company did a study where they said only 30% of people in this country actually get to do their dream job. Did you know that? Only 30% of people in this entire country get to do their dream job. When I think about that and I see that y'all came out, I'm just grateful y'all came to support my backup plan, y'all, because that's just... This was not my dream job. Don't get me wrong, my career's going great. I'm happy, but this ain't what I dreamed. Get the fuck out of here. I never dreamed of telling people how gay I'd get for $19 million. Get out of here. Wasn't a kid just staring at the stars. One day, they're gonna know the price. Thought I was going to the NBA, man. The NBA, they had other thoughts. No. I still remember when I fell in love with basketball. I remember the day I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm 5 years old, right? I'm 5. Never heard of basketball. No one had ever introduced me to it. I get taken to a game. We get to sit close. I mean close. Like close enough to like, you get to see the game that you don't get to see on TV, you know what I'm saying? I still remember this as clear as day, right? I saw player A foul player B hard. And then I saw a ref call a foul on player A. And then I saw player A turn to the ref and go, suck my dick. And I was like, what game is this? What is this? I'm 5 years old, my mind's blown. I'm like, you can do that? I remember I look at the guy sitting next to me, I go like, he just said the thing. Is he not gonna get in trouble for that? And the guy next to me goes, nah, he's gonna be fine. I'm like, what game is this? I wanna do this when I grow up. What is this? The NBA might be the wildest workplace in America. We don't even talk about it. Think about what you've seen them get to do, cross-reference it with your job, tell me they're equals. Get the fuck out of here. I just saw a guy tell a coworker, suck my dick, and everybody who saw it went, you know how he is. What? What a free workplace. And I'm just saying, like, there's something to it. Like, the NBA is just a place where you could just sort of get away with almost anything. And I'm not saying it's, like, always got to be bad. You could just sort of do anything. It's got a place there. When I was growing up, there was a player named Jason Terry, right? His nickname was the Jet. And anytime Jason Terry hit a three-pointer, you know how he'd celebrate? He'd spread his arms like they were the wings on a plane, and he would just run back down court as if he had flown away. He did that for 19 years. I need you to 19 years of a guy running through the office. Nobody stopped him. Not once. Nobody was like, Jason, where the fuck are you flying? Nigga, get back on defense. We're still playing. Not once for 2 decades. God, I want to do that so bad. I just love the idea of that. He got to do that for fucking 19 years. Oh. It's all I've ever wanted to do. You can't do that shit in comedy. I couldn't drop a punchline and be like, later. I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? It's all I ever dream of doing. I just want to tell somebody to suck my dick and fly away. That's all I've ever wanted. I want it for everybody. I tried. Dude, I tried to get to the league, man. I tried so hard. I really thought I was going to the NBA. Closest I got was a white girlfriend. I wasn't really... I remember the scouts were like, that's a good start. Now next, we want you to stop this guy from scoring. I'm like, I'll try, but I'm better at the first thing.
I got married in July last year to a nice American girl. I did it. Thank you. Thank you. I got a green card. I did it, yes. I'm legal. We were engaged for like 2.5 years because of the pandemic. And when we first got engaged, this is the first thing that we had to do was get engagement photos. Okay, this is an American tradition. We don't do this in Australia. And it's fucking weird. We were down the beach with a professional photographer doing shit we've never done before and will never do again. I was told to stand there and look out over the ocean, so I'm standing there like this. And my fiancée was told to stand right behind me and put her arms around me like that, right? And I, in turn, was to hold her back like this. So we're both standing there, staring out over the Pacific. She can't see shit because her face is just in my back. We're trying to make that look cute, like, ah! So we're standing there in some kind of reverse prom backpack scenario. And I thought, this isn't right, this doesn't feel right. And I went to the photographer, I don't think we should... And she took that photo. And then we sent that to all of our family and friends. And said, this is how we stand at the beach. We're idiots. We're thinking of starting a family. This isn't a good start. I do most of the cooking in the house. It's just that she burns 90% of shit that she touches in the kitchen, and I'm not allowed to say anything about it. You're not allowed to. It's very sexist and misogynistic to point out a woman burning something in the kitchen. You're better off just letting them burn shit and just saying nothing. But this is what she does. She put a pot on the stove, turn the stove on, and then she just fucks off for an hour and a half. And does something else. And then she comes running back in and goes, oh shit, how did that happen? Oh. And I'm sitting there going, I fucking know how it happened, but I'm not allowed to say anything because of the rules of society and I'll get cancelled. It's hard being in the car with her when she's trying to do a U-turn. It's really hard. It's very hard. I don't think she knows what the letter U is. I don't think she knows. See, this is what a U-turn is, right? You're coming down the street and you need to be back over this side of the street. So you just do a U shape. It's in the title. It's in the title. Just do a U shape. Get back to where you needed to get to. But what my wife likes to do is she's driving along about here, she shits herself, and she goes, I don't want to do a U-turn, there's too many cars, I'm scared. So she turns right down this street, and she doesn't want to do a U-turn on that street either, so she turns right up the next street, and then she does a painfully slow 3-point turn in a driveway, and then comes back down to this street, back down along here, and then back up to where we needed to get to. And that takes 45 minutes. And I just have to sit there in silence. Look, she's a better person than I am, okay? She does leave dishes around a lot, just half-drunk glasses of water everywhere. And it shits me, but we never fight. What we do is we passively aggressively get shit off our chests via one of the cats. So I'll pick up a cat and I say something like, oh, Mum leaves a lot of dirty dishes around, doesn't she? And then later on, she'll pick up a cat and go, oh, Dad can't show his emotions because his father left him when he was a child. Ooh. Yeah, she's a lot better at it than I am. She's a terrible morning person. She's horrific from the hours of like 6 until about 9:30. She looks different. She sounds different. I think she's a different person. She scares me. If I get up before her, it's safer for me to grab some clothes together and go into the kitchen and change in the kitchen. Go, don't make too much noise. If you wake her up, she'll stab you in the face. She's terrifying. I was getting up early for work, this was a while ago, and I was getting up at 6:30. And on the Monday, got up at 6:30 and she was asleep. And I leant over and went, oh, bye, and kissed her on the shoulder. And she went, oh, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I was just saying goodbye. And she went, oh, just fucking go. And I went, oh, sorry, go back to sleep, sorry. And I left. Then on the Tuesday, 6:30 in the morning, she was asleep and I thought, I won't disturb her, I'll let her sleep, that's what she wants. And I went off to work. Yeah, you all know. I got a text message from her at 9:30 that said, how come you left without saying goodbye? What the fuck am I meant to do with this situation? So Wednesday, 6:30, I'm just standing at the end of the bed just staring at her. I didn't know what to do. I'm looking around for help. There's no support. And I'm thinking, do I go or do I say goodbye? What do I do? And I was kind of hovering above her like that. And she woke up and saw me above her like this. And just went, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I went, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. Help me. About 4 years ago, I was in Chicago in December, okay? I was in a place called Schaumburg, and that is the coldest I've ever been in my entire life. I wasn't prepared for that at all. And I was doing some shows there in Schaumburg, and I was in the hotel. Looking out the window, there was a Whole Foods about a mile away. And like everything was frozen over. There was no people walking around and all the cars were covered in snow. And look, I don't know the cold. I didn't know if I could walk that mile without dying. I didn't know. I didn't want to be a statistic on their news. Idiot Australian thinks he can walk a mile in December. He has perished outside the Whole Foods in Schaumburg. I didn't want that to happen. So I put my beanie on and my scarf on and my jacket on, and I put sweatpants on and then jeans over them and like another jacket. And I had all my clothing. I looked like an idiot. I was all puffed out like Kevin from Home Alone. And I walked out of the hotel room and the door shut behind me, and I went, oh shit, I forgot my room key. But I thought, don't worry about it. You can worry about that when you get back. So I started walking over to the Whole Foods. About a mile, or about half a mile, this young girl walked past me just in a t-shirt and looked up at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a foreigner. I'm not from around here. Hello. So I knew I had too much clothing on, but I got to the Whole Foods and I took the jacket off and I took the scarf off and I took the beanie off. And then I wanted to get this green juice. And I found out the green juice was $17. And I was like, oh, come on, $17? And then I looked across and there was a lady giving out free samples of the very juice that I wanted. And pretty generous sized samples. So I went up to her and I said, oh, hi, may I try one of your juices? So I had one. And then I said, that's really good. May I have another? You're allowed to ask for two. We've all decided in society that when sampling, you're allowed to have two. So I had the second one. You can't ask for three. That's too much, okay? That's cheeky. So I had to think of tactics to get the third, fourth, and fifth one. So this is what I did. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. I went into the other aisle and I put my jacket back on and my scarf back on and I put my beanie back on. And then I walked back up to the lady and I went, hello, I'd like to try some green juice. And she just stared at me and I panicked. I don't know why I said this. I went, my twin brother was just here. And he said, I simply must try your green juice. So I'm just deep in a sea of juice lies at this point. And she burst out laughing and then leaned in and said, have as much juice as you want. As soon as all this juice is gone, I get to go on break. So I'm her new best friend. I'm like, well, let's have a juice. Come on. I'm getting other people involved. Come on, we're getting Mary on break. Have a juice. We finished all the juice. Mary went on break. I had way too many juices. I had like 17 juices. I put my beanie back on and the scarf back on and the jacket back on, ready for my mile walk back to the hotel. And about quarter mile out, I realised that's too much juice. That's too much. We're about to have a problem here. This is a problem. Look, it's one thing if you need to pee really badly, but if you need to... That is an emergency situation. I don't want to be a statistic on the Chicago news. Australian shits his pants outside the Whole Foods in Schaumburg. He has perished outside. I don't need that on my adult life resume, so... And the shit that was going through my head, like, I was walking along going, you could jump between these two cars right now and this would all be over. And I'm like, you're not doing that, you're an adult. You're not shitting between cars. What are you, insane? So this is all I could do, all right? Now, you've all done this before. Don't act like you haven't. What it is, it's the fast-paced walk, and then you have to gather yourself, and that's the only way you can get from A to B. All right? You go, 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 go. Oh shit, 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 shit. You've all done it before. You know damn well you have. Don't act like you haven't. It's all you can do. You go, 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 go. Shit, 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 shit. Oh God! So I did that the whole mile walk back to the hotel. I stopped like 50 times. It took me so long to get there, but I struggled and I got there and I made it and I was sweating. I was sweating by the time I got to the hotel. And I went to the elevators and I remembered, shit, I forgot my room key. And I went up to the guy at the counter and it's like he knew exactly what was going on. Because all I did was go up to him and just go, "Dah!" And he went, right, this guy's about to shit his pants and doesn't have a room key. Because he just went, yeah, and handed me the key and I went, "Ah!" I went to the elevators, I went up to my floor and I got there and I got to my room, I opened the door, I opened the bathroom door. Now, why is it that your brain thinks it's made it to the toilet when it sees the toilet? I was like, no, we're not there yet, what are you doing, for God's sakes? And I jumped in the air and I got my jeans off and I dove and I went, ksh, and I made it, every little step, that whole mile back, everything. And the relief when I made it to the toilet. And then I remembered I was wearing 2 pairs of pants.
After one particular show, this is New Year's in Seattle. I'll never forget 2016. Now, I'm not a weed guy, but I remember around that time, that's when dispensaries like first hit the streets, okay? So everybody was very interested. I'm not a weed guy. I get paranoid. If it works for you, fantastic. I don't smoke. You're paranoid, it's a terrible experience. So I go into the dispensary with my friends as moral support, okay? This guy's trying to sell me. You know, and you walk into a dispensary, people weird in the dispensary. You know, people take themselves way too seriously in a weed dispensary. There was a dude working there wearing a lab coat. I was like, come on, man. Take that lab coat off. You're a drug dealer, man. Stop it. What kind of high do you want, sir? I don't want to get high. I just came here for moral support, you know. When I get high, I get paranoid. Well, I got something to fix your paranoia. He opened a drawer. I can fix your paranoia. No, you can't. If I get high, I will call the police on everybody in this room. You understand? We're going to jail tonight. I don't smoke. So, this particular night, hanging out with some comics after the show, and one of the guys looked at me. He's like, and he asked me, hey, Kortney, do you want to do some weed butter? I was like, what, weed butter? I ain't no marijuana made butter, but apparently white people have the recipe. I was like, what? You want some butter? I was like, what? And he just pulled it out of his back pocket. It was a weird thing. It was already in a sauce. He was like, hey, some butter. I was like, really? Why is it black? What is going on in there? I got some bread, and then he pulled out some King's Hawaiian rolls. Oh, man, I love King's Hawaiian rolls. I could eat King Hawaiian rolls without any butter, you know, like a duck. I could just throw it back dry. But I felt like it was disrespectful to eat all of his bread and not have some of the butter. So I was like, sure, I'll try that butter out, man. Cool. Great. So then he put the butter out there, and I took the roll and I sopped it up, and got me some edibles. About an hour and a half later, I didn't feel a thing. I was like, this is not that big of a deal. And he came back, hey man, do you want some more of that butter? Sure, I'll take some more of that butter. Oh, it's the worst decision I ever made. I didn't know the edible rules, man. I didn't know. You do one edible and you wait for the rest of your life for that to kick in. That's the rules. You don't double dip on edibles, okay? You gotta let the first one get a chance to do its damage before you double up on the next. Because if the first one finds out you did something with the second one, oh, you went behind my back? Because all of a sudden it turns into some kind of Mortal Kombat. Finish him! Come here! Boom! All of a sudden, the room started shaking back to front. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm in the corner wobbling side to side. I had my arms out. I was trying to, what are you doing? I'm trying to stop this room from shaking, man. This is terrible. Hey, man, we got to get home now, man. We got to go home. We'll leave in a minute. No, I need to go home so I can call the police, dog. This is the worst night of life. It's terrible. Call me an Uber. I took a 45-minute Uber ride, 3 blocks from my house. It's the worst night of my life. I was so high, I thought the driver was following me home. This is how high I was. I was like, oh my God, how does he know where I live, man? I'm being kidnapped right now. So hey man, take a left. Like, oh my gosh, I should have had a lunch. If I'd have had a lunch, I wouldn't ate so much of that bread, man. This is the worst night of my life. Hey, take a right. This is terrible. I gotta call somebody. You ever been so high? It's like, I gotta call somebody. Like, I don't know, who do you call, but I gotta let somebody know what's going on right now in case I go missing. I need to call somebody. So I called my wife. I was like, hey, babe, what are you up to? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sleeping. What do you think I'm up to? Oh, yeah, I just wanted to make sure. What are you doing later on tonight? Yeah, I think I'm gonna need a ride to the hospital. I think this is the way this night's gonna end. Yeah, I did some edibles at the club. I don't know what's going on right now. I Googled black people with edibles. They're all confused too. So I was just trying to figure out why I can't see right now. Hey man, take a right. I'm being kidnapped, by the way. Yeah, dude from Making a Murder, he's an Uber driver. This is some weird things going on. Are you high? Yes, I'm high. I'm glad that you asked, and I want him to know that I know that you better not try to kidnap me, dog. Hey, can you stay on the phone till we get home? Just please turn the light on or something. Get home now. She yelled that into the phone. Get home now. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I got it. I turned to the driver. I was like, hey man, we got to get home. No problem. Get out of the car. Oh, we're here? Have we been parked the entire time? Did you bring me to my house? It's a 5-star rating coming your way. Good. I don't know if you ever had somebody waiting for you to get home. That's a scary experience when someone's waiting for you. You ever go to like put your key in the door and you go to turn, you don't even get a chance to turn the doorknob. Somebody's waiting on the other end to choke the life out of you. And they snatch the door open. As I turned my key, she pulled the door open from the other side. I was so high, I thought I did a magic trick. I was like, ta-da! Oh my gosh, it's you! Yes, it's me. Oh man, I thought I'd never see you again. It's good to see you. Oh man, what a night we've had. I cannot believe you did this. She blamed it on me. I cannot believe you did this. What kind of example are you? Can't believe you did this. Disgusting. Where's your shirt, by the way? Oh, my shirt. I'm glad you asked. I traded in for this coat. You know what I mean? There was trading shirts for coats out there. I was like, oh, my lucky day, I got a shirt on me. So I just traded my shirt for a coat. It's worked out great. That is your coat. Oh, gosh, where's my shirt? Somebody stole my shirt, man. It was that Uber driver. I told you, Stephen Avery. He has my shirt. Well, this is awkward. I'm gonna need you to give me that ride to the hospital. Yeah, I'm about to die in 15 minutes. I'm pretty convinced. I need to get there before rigor mortis set in. I gotta have some witnesses or something. I'm not giving you a ride to the hospital tonight. Enough of that. I'm not giving you a ride to the hospital. Well, I'm gonna call the police and they gonna give me a ride to the hospital. Somebody's giving me a ride to the hospital tonight. That's the way it's working, okay? I'm not giving you a ride to the hospital. What are you gonna tell them when you get to the hospital? I'm high. Yes, that's exactly what I'm gonna tell them. Look, this is not the time to keep secrets, you know what I mean? They're gonna know I'm high. I lost my shirt while I was wearing my coat. They're gonna know I'm high. And if I don't tell them I'm high, you're gonna tell them I'm high because you're a snitch. So, Took her out to the hospital.
Every time I'm on Zoom, I try to watch everybody else who's in the Zoom meeting, but inevitably, my eyes work their way back to my face. And I start noticing every fault on this fucking face. I swear to God, they were pitching a TV show to me. I was listening. All of a sudden, I look over, I go, holy shit. When did I get so old? I go, look at these wrinkles. I got crow's feet. I didn't know, where'd my eyebrows go? I have no eyebrows. I didn't know I was this bald. Holy shit. That's a big nose. What the fuck? I wonder if it's smaller. It's bigger this way! Josefa, by the end of the meeting, the guy goes, what do you think of the TV show? I go, I think I need plastic surgery. And I thought about getting it. I did, because I found out if you want your eyelids to open, you go to the plastic surgeon. They pull your skin back so your eyes open. I thought maybe the guy could pull my skin back, give me some thick eyebrows, thin nose, some white teeth, some nice hair, right? And the key to getting work done, I found out, you're not supposed to admit you had work done. Right? So I'd be walking around Los Angeles all shiny. People be like, Maz, did you get work done? I'd be like, no. I've been juicing. How come you have a big ass? That's elderberry juice. Why do you have breasts? That's turmeric. Oh, my God. You know who I was jealous of during the pandemic? Was doctors. Are there any doctors in the house? Any doctors? There we go. What kind of doctor are you, young lady? What kind? Gastroenterologist. There you go. GI, right? Fart doctor, right? It's the best. You got a lot of clients tonight. The Persians are here. We have a lot of gaseous. The Indians, you know what, the curries, you're going to have a lot. Just start handing out business cards on the way out. Venezuela, yeah, spicy, some shit. You know why I was jealous of doctors? Doctors were doing Zoom consults during the pandemic. Did you do Zoom consults? You were there. Look at you with the mask. You were brave. Look at you. Give it up for her, saving lives. Yes. My friend told me you could get a Zoom consult physical. And I was like, how does that even happen? Because usually the doctor's got to touch you to make sure you're okay. How does that work? What do you get on the Zoom with the doctor? He goes, okay, Maz, welcome to your annual checkup. Let's get started. Okay, I need you to grab your balls and cough. Are you feeling anything strange? No? Okay, stick your finger up your ass. Anything at all? No? Okay, do the copay on the way out. You'll be fine. I was so jealous of doctor. I should have been a doctor. Have you ever heard anybody say that to you before? People say stupid shit like that. I'm happy you haven't heard it, because some people will see like a doctor in a nice car. They go, I should have been a doctor. Like it's a weekend extension course. What's your name, Doc? What's your name? Melanie. I knew I couldn't be a doctor from the 5th grade. Yeah, when they brought that frog out. Remember the frog? You guys remember the frog? In the 5th grade, they brought out a dead frog. Melanie, it was pinned to a tray with his arms out, just like Jesus. He's just... the most disgusting shit I've ever seen. And they doused him in formaldehyde. They put him in front of me. I raised my hand. I go, teacher, what do you want me to do with the frog? She goes, cut it open. I go, fuck that. You cut it open. That's the day I knew I was not going to be a doctor. That's the day I became a comedian. I swear to God. I went to the other side of the room. I just started telling jokes. Right away, I go over. I go, knock, knock. They go, who's there? I go, not the frog. He's dead. He's dead in formaldehyde. I'll be honest with you. The pandemic also made me realize I could never be a doctor, okay? because as soon as we could get those masks, the disposable blue masks, we bought some of the disposable blue masks. I put it on with my big ass ears. Those things were hurting my ears so much. I couldn't last 5 minutes in Whole Foods. My wife sent me to Whole Foods to go shopping. Remember early on in the pandemic, you'd get dressed up in like a homemade hazmat suit? With like dishwashing gloves, ski goggles, and the fucking mask. I'd be walking around. I couldn't last 5 minutes in Whole Foods. I was like, this is bullshit. I'm just gonna get the dried mangoes. I will come back for the quinoa. This is bullshit. My ears are hurting. I would run into the car, take off all my gear, start eating my dried mangoes. Oh my God, my ears are hurting. Fuck. I couldn't last 5 minutes in Whole Foods. Meanwhile, doctors will operate on somebody for 8 hours wearing the mask, right? They'll be in the operating room, right? They get started. Scalpel! They cut the guy open. And then hammer! I don't know what it is. Blender! I don't know. I'm cooking at this point. Halfway through the surgery, the nurse will be like, doctor, do you want a mask break? No, God damn it! We're here to save a life. I'll be here for 8 hours. My ears will suffer. If I were the doctor, 5 minutes in. Guys, he's not gonna make it. I gotta go. This is bullshit. I have dried mangoes in the car. Let's go, guys. I also got a cold during the coronavirus. You can't get a cold during the coronavirus because everyone would think you had the coronavirus. Right? Like getting a cold during the coronavirus is what it felt like being Muslim after September 11th. Yeah! Everyone thought you're guilty. Right? Like Asians, it's what it felt like being Asian during the coronavirus. They were blaming it on Asians, right? White people is what it felt like being white after January 6th. That was your day, motherfuckers. I remember, Blake, I was watching the news. I go, oh shit, they got terrorists too. I'm sorry. Patriots. White people have very funny names for their criminals. Your terrorists become patriots. Your drug dealers become pharmaceutical reps. Your killers become lone wolves. Like, what's a lone wolf? He's a killer who's white. My favorite day was January 7th when they wouldn't let those motherfuckers get on the airplanes. Don't know if you've seen the videos. Go home and watch the videos. These guys had the nerve. They attacked the Capitol on January 6th. They had the nerve to go to the airport the next day, try to get on the plane. They were at the airport crying. Did you see the videos? They're like, this is bullshit, man. They won't let me on the plane, man. I have my boarding pass and I chose my meal. They're not letting me on the plane, man. I was watching. I go, welcome to my world, motherfuckers. They haven't let my people on planes for 20 years. My cousin Mahmoud is still walking across the country. I go, by the way, when they didn't let the Muslims on the planes, we didn't cry. We didn't cry, okay? We just walked away. We're like, okay, fine. I would just hijack the next plane. That's how you do it. I've been following the whole January 6th. I don't know if you heard about it, but they obviously put a lot of the people who stormed the Capitol, they put them in jail. And a lot of them, when they were caught, they said that they didn't mean to storm the Capitol. They got caught up in the moment. What kind of stupid ass, bullshit, white privilege excuse is that? Because I don't know about you guys, but I've never been outside of a bank just using an ATM. Looked over, seen a bank robber run by, made eye contact. Let's do this shit, motherfucker. Go in front of the judge, Your Honor. I'll be honest with you. I got caught up in the moment. I was going for $20, decided to go for $20,000. What the hell? These things happen, Your Honor. I've been watching the January 6th hearings. I don't know if you guys have or not, But I don't care what side you're on, right or left, you should watch them. They're very entertaining. It's the best TV show on television. My favorite episode was that one where that girl Cassidy Hutchinson came out and she said, remember her? She came out, she said Trump tried to choke his Secret Service agent. And the people on the right were like, no way. And the people on the left were like, yeah, way. But I'm thinking, you know what's interesting? We all as a country, we heard that Trump tried to choke his Secret Service agent. All of us were like, yeah, it's possible. That's how crazy he is. In the past, if you heard like President Eisenhower choked his Secret Service agent, no way, he's very stately, he would never do that. But you hear Trump, you're like, that could have happened, definitely could have happened. If you heard Biden choke his Secret Service agent, you'd be like, how old was the Secret Service agent? How old was the guy?
I mentioned my human son loves my missus. He does. No offence to her, but I think that's quite easily done. I think his heart is quite easily won. I think if you're prepared to have enough ideas of games to play, get him anything from that tat shop tiger, keep your language clean, get the odd round in. He'll fall for you. The cats, however, have been much harder to impress. I can't talk about this within my own home, because I can't tell you how much she loves these cats. I'm going to say too much. But actually, I'm just going to say it. I actually think the cats might be homophobic. I've got loads of evidence. One of the cats likes jumping on the kitchen surfaces, licking all around, furring all around. Really nice. Someone just going, ugh. I'd be careful to do that out loud in an audience this queer. This is my edgiest bit in this crowd. Yeah, he jumps all over the kitchen surfaces where I do the cooking, and I was quite hard. I think, I was quite short. I said to my missus, do you think there's any way we could get him not to do that fucking disgusting thing? And she was like, yeah, all right, he's a cat, it's not a problem, we'll just discipline him. I'll buy a water spray can. And in fairness, she did. So next time he jumped up there, I went to spray him, and she was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, God, you don't have to spray him. You don't actually spray. At least try mediation first. So me, the human, has to go, Conrad, please hop down. Incredibly, he didn't. So I go to spray him, and she's like, whoa, 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 trigger happy. The next thing she made me do is hold the watering can out like that and just sort of shake it, just sort of gently show it to the cat. Pretty confident I heard the cat go, Then, and only then, am I allowed to spray the prick. You can imagine the catharsis. Shh. But it turns out she hadn't bought a normal water spray can, had she? She'd bought a mister for succulents. So water did come out of it, but in a lovely gentle plume. I swear to you, that cat went... He's even better at sexy dancing than me. Which brings me on to my main evidence against them, actually. There's no delicate way of putting this, but both the cats watch us bonk, and they're not very encouraging. Conrad the kitchen jumper watches like that. And Cleo, if anything, is worse. She's somehow found a way of sort of watching like that. And I was really letting this knock my confidence. But then, actually, in this instance, I realised I think I might need to take some responsibility, because I thought about it, and actually, there's been an empathy fail, hasn't there? On my part. Because at the end of the day, they're cats, aren't they? They're cats. And what cats thinking? If they're watching two women have sex, they're probably thinking, well, they are having a very thorough wash. What a noisy wash! surely that bit's done at least.